Okay, is that an organ? Is that an organ in the background? That I can get behind. That's got a little more Aretha Franklin to it, and I can get behind. That's a sexy start. Let's see. Let's see what these French people have to say. I want to be respectful, but here's what I'm going to say. Sometimes people give Duran Duran sort of the credit or the blame or whatever for music becoming less about just audio and really about visual, because when they came on the scene with, was it Rio? Was that I don't know. That incredible album. Also, first of all, if you do not know the body of work of Duran Duran, or I'm just going to call them their actual name, Duran Duran, get into it, okay? Get into it. That shit eats. I mean, it is amazing. Like, it's not just good for the 80s. It is incredible. It's incredible. And I want to say that the album cover of I want to say it's called Rio. It's been a while, but even their later stuff is great. Look, Duran Duran is an iconic band. Iconic. And when they first came on the scene, it was really kind of the dawn of music videos. And their music videos got such heavy airplay on MTV back when MTV used to play music videos. And they were all beautiful and like really, I mean, you kind of had they weren't ever a boy band in the sense that they never did like choreographed dances together or anything like that. But they had some of those elements that you could definitely see, which was one, hair and makeup. And they made no bones about it. Some of them a little more than others. Nick, I'm looking at you, you fabulous bitch. But like, there was kind of also a guy for everybody. You know, there was sort of the quiet one who was the drummer. There's John Taylor, who was objectively the most gorgeous man who ever walked the earth. There was Simon, who was like a little bit more flamboyant. There was Nick, who did like sort of full makeup. I mean, there was something for everyone. And there was no like, I just rolled out of bed. That was just not their vibe. They were styled, and they were about style. I say that to say this. The bags under this man's eyes are more noticeable than the Eiffel Tower to his right, or his left. So, I mean, I guess it's just, to me, it's so, I love, like in America, the album covers of like, I don't know, the Lynyrd Skynyrd, or, you know, those bands where it's just like, they did not comb their hair. They were wearing what they threw on that they grabbed off their bedroom floor that morning. Like, there is no styling of anyone at any time in any way. And this is just kind of like how people looked. I mean, honestly, if I was going to shoot an album cover today, I would have it styled to look like that. To me, that is so, I love that. I love that. So there's something about this, which is he's like, probably I'm imagining, like at the time, somebody is like, do you want us to comb your hair? And he's like, why? You know, like, this is about a song. I'm singing a song. Who cares what I'm wearing? Who cares if I look exhausted? You know, like, that's not the point here. And I have sort of a soft spot in my heart for this kind of era of music, sort of pre-visual, and then of course it goes to sort of that further edge of it where the visual component is the main component, and who cares, you know, like the singing is just a way of getting people to see you. But this is sort of before all of that, and I kind of love it. I mean, I speak like school French from 1,000 years ago, so I don't really understand what he's saying. He doesn't seem like a singer. It's sort of like a speaking kind of the lyrics. And then the point of the chorus, I guess, is this woman saying I love you in this kind of breathy, what shall I say, overwrought kind of way. I wonder, are these people like a real life couple or something? Is this guy an actual singer? I don't know.
Tu es la vague, moi, l'île nue. Tu vas et tu viens entre mes reins. Tu vas et tu viens entre mes reins. Et je te rejoins. Je t'aime.
Here's the vibe that I'm getting. I don't know this song. I've never heard this song. The vibe that I'm getting is that these two people are like a couple, like a real life couple who are not singers, but sort of decided to cut a single, you know, like how athletes will somehow like just, you know what I mean? Like people who are not singers are like, let's try that. And this is what happened. Again, like I'm I'm not doing it. This is a cold reaction. I do not know anything about these people. It's very French. I like they're really leaning into these cigarettes and the Eiffel Tower, which, I mean, I hope it's, you know, genuine at the time, not sort of like stereotypical. I don't know if I'm going to see some baguettes and some striped shirts, but at this point, like I'm seeing some cute bangs and some Bardot layers. Anything is possible. My mind is wide open.
Je t'aime, oh oui je t'aime. Moi non plus. Oh mon amour. Comme la vague, irrésolue.
It's not about the singing, obviously. And honestly, like this song, the music of it is giving me like Bob Dylan, Once Upon a Time, You Look So Fine, sort of how does it feel kind of thing. I don't hate it, but I haven't found somewhere to land yet, I think.
Je vais et je viens. Entre tes reins. Je vais et je.
I love their outerwear. Let's say that. I mean, these are some strong collars, a strong button game.
Viens entre tes reins. Et je retiens.
Okay, easy, Frenchie. Okay, calm down. Okay. Yeah, and we're in the recessed circular. Look, okay, look. You know what? I know from the '80s, right? Like listening to heavy breathing in a song makes people extremely nervous. Back to Dren Dren. Case in point, there's a song called Hungry Like the Wolf. Again, if you don't know it, oh my God, what I wouldn't give to listen to that song for the first time again. Holy God, it is a great song. But also, there's some, I don't know, what some people would say is some simulation of orgasm, kind of as background music or as sort of like backup vocals. And I know, like, the overly hairsprayed righteous squad in the United States was definitely doing some pearl clutching about that. So I would be interested to sort of read up on like what how people were reacting to this, like as this sort of like heavy breathing here in this. I know in America we'd be losing our minds. The French were probably like, what? She's breathing. Who cares? Yeah, and this sort of exhalation at the end of the line. It's very Nancy Wilson, who also, if you don't know, like, so there's two incredible Nancy Wilsons. One is in a band called Heart. The other is an iconic singer from the 60s through the 80s. I think she has one of the most beautiful voices ever in the world, and she's kind of like a jazz and standard singer. Again, if you're not into Nancy Wilson, get into Nancy Wilson. She has this really, what is it? It's like a signature kind of delivery, which is that she sort of like exhales heavily at the end of a line. It's incredibly effective and really beautiful the way that she does it. It kind of lets you sort of land at the end of the line and sort of like join her again as she keeps going. And it's also so moody. It's this really, I love it. I think it's a really beautiful sort of style. This is reminding me of that. I'd say Nancy does it a little bit more skillfully. Again, I'm wondering if either one of these people are in fact singers, but it's reminiscent of that to me.
Moi non plus. Oh mon amour. L'amour physique et sans issue. Je vais et je viens.
Okay, so I'm assuming we're sort of repeating to fade. Yeah, I mean, I guess let's just sort of let's get to the end here.
Entre tes reins. Je vais et je viens. Je me retiens.
Okay. Okay, little did I know that virtually every musical reference I have is to the Boogie Nights soundtrack. There's another song on that soundtrack. Again, greatest soundtrack ever compiled. If you have not downloaded it or whatever, get on it. And I think in that song, the only sound is sort of heavy breathing, like a woman. What is she doing? Is she simulating orgasm? I'm not entirely sure what she's doing, but again, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about if you do your homework and go check out that Boogie Nights soundtrack. What do I think about this song? So it's interesting. Again, I don't understand the lyrics, but I think they are speaking the international language of love. And obviously, this is something about a man and a woman who have strong physical attraction or feelings for each other or some kind of like relationship. And I would assume that part of the reason that it was as popular as it was, because it did chart, is about this kind of deeper expression than you would normally hear, or I guess more kind of carnal expression than you would normally hear, especially I would say in terms of the female vocalist, about sort of incorporating, like, what would I call them? Sex sounds? I mean, like the heavy breathing, the kind of moaning as she is saying how much she loves this guy. It's definitely got some overtly sexual tones to it. Um, and I think that, I mean, given the rest of the song, which isn't particularly innovative, I would say, it's very inoffensive, like the kind of pace of the song, the melody of the song, the structure of the song is nothing that no one hasn't heard like a million times before. I'm assuming that like the draw here is the delivery of the lyrics and the kind of overt sexuality of it. Again, by today's standards, very tame, but also, I guess it has a charm and it has an authenticity. I don't know what the relationship is of these two people. I don't know if they are a real life couple who, again, just sort of decided to cut a single as you did. I mean, again, if you have not heard the Golden Throats album, you know, give yourself a little treat there. There is a whole genre of people who had no business recording albums who just went ahead and did it anyway, to the hilarity of the tens of people who now know about it. So I don't know. I love it? No. Would I listen to it again? I wouldn't go out of my way, but it's a sort of interesting sort of tidbit, like an archive, and it does make me wonder who these people were who recorded it and like what the situation around this was. Yeah, I'd be interested to find out more.